Alright, so let's do some summarizing of data. I'm going to move back over here. Alright, so summarizing data, one of the ways you can do that is using what we call subtotals. A subtotal is the sum of a subset of data, where you have a grand total that kind of sums all the data out in a row, and then you can kind of break it down from there. You can do that automatically in Excel as long as your data is sorted. So when you have subtotals, the field that you sort is going to be called your control field. So if I chose the branch field as my control field, all of the Avon, Brownsburg, and Plainsfield entries will be grouped together within the data range. And then you can request subtotals for things like the account values of your customer bill based off that sort. So Excel will calculate and display the subtotals each time that branch field changes. Grand total is going to display at the bottom of the range. The most common subtotal uses are sum functions, although there are other functions that you can use. So we're going to set this up where we can actually do a subtotal. But here's the catch about subtotals. You have to convert your table back to a regular range in order for it to work. All right? So before we do that, we're going to sort. I'm going to go over to C8. I am going to turn my filter buttons on. So I'm going to go to my data tab and click filter. And I'm going to sort this from A to Z first. All right, and if you don't do that, then your subtotals are not going to look right. So just keep that in mind. Okay? Once I have it sorted, I'm going to right-click in my table. And let me make sure I'm in my table. I'll right-click. And I'm looking for a convert to range button, which I don't see at the moment. Hold on just a second. Oh, my table's submitted. There we go. Alright, I'm going to do convert to range. I'm just going to ask you if you're sure you want to do it, because once you do it, you can't go back. And hit yes. And notice my filter buttons disappear because now this is just a regular range. It doesn't have the table functions that it did before. Alright. So I'm going to click in one of the fields that I want to subtotal. So in this case, I'm going to click in column E. I am going to go up on my data tab, and over here in your outline box there's a subtotal button. I'm going to click it. And this is important in order for this to work. You have to pay attention to what it tells you to do in the instructions. So if it tells you to change something at each change in, you have to come up here and change it, or it does not look right. Alright, so I'm going to change this to where it does a subtotal for each change in branch. Alright? If you don't do that, it doesn't work. Alright, I'm going to leave this on sum because that's what I want to do. And then under where it says add subtotal to, I'm going to tell it what things I want it to subtotal. Alright, so I'm going to click account values. And I'm going to clear out anything else under here that is checked. So I'm going to double check to make sure that's the only thing that's checked. And then once I do that, I'm going to hit OK. And your screen's going to change. It's going to go into what we call an outline view. Alright, so you can see I have each branch, and there's a total now, there's a subtotal for it, and I have a grand total. If you look over here on the left-hand side, you'll see a 1, 2, and 3 at the top. These are the different levels of the subtotal. So if I click 1, it gives me the grand total. 2, it gives me each individual total for each branch. 3 displays everything. So this is the outline feature that you have. And you'll notice that you can also collapse things on the side. Right, so you have the ability to expand and collapse depending on what you're trying to do. Alright. So subtotal is pretty easy to set up. The key again is making sure that you set up the sort for each change, and if you don't do that option, then you have a problem. Alright, the last thing we're going to do are tree map charts. To do a tree map charts, let's see. Oh, let me show you how to turn this off too. If you want to get rid of a subtotal, if you go back up here to the subtotal button and click remove all, it will remove the subtotals. Alright, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to remove it. put it back in this view. All right. So let me show you how the tree map works. I'm going to select B8 through E22. All right. Actually, before I do that, let's do this real quick. I'm going to turn on filter button so that I can filter some information. It's not actually a table setup anymore, but I can still use filter option. I'm going to go over here by name, and I'm going to sort this in descending order, so Z to A. Yep, let's do ascending order. It makes more sense. A to Z. All right. So now that I've done that, I'm going to select B8 through E22, and then go into my Insert tab over here in my charts. You'll notice one that looks like a box, a square. And this is going to be under the hierarchy chart. So if I click that, there's a tree map option here. And this tree map is probably different from anything you've seen. What it does is the size of the box determines the amount of time that we've spent, or the amount of money that kind of thing. I am going to do the 6 chart style at the top here to change the way it looks. And then I'm going to move my legend. So I'm going to do the chart elements, and I'm going to uncheck the legend box to get rid of it, to make it expand. I'm going to move it to a new sheet, and I'm going to call that sheet managers. Okay. You can change titles in here like you did before. And the thing is, you have control over the size of some of these things. So like if you want your labels to be bigger, you can click the labels and change the font size. So I can go to my home tab and bump it up to 14. Make it easier to read. If you want to put more information on them, you can do that as well. If you right-click any of these triangles, you get a shortcut menu. You can format the data series. You can change the way they look. So if you wanted to put a banner for each person and then have what they're working on underneath it, each color is associated with that person. So it's just a little bit different than what you're accustomed to. It looks a little bit different. You have the same functionality as you do all the other things that you would with charts. You can do your data labels. So if you wanted to put more information on them, let's see. Click the name and do format data labels. You can add values if you want. You can separate things, lines. Lots of different options that you have with your map. So this is a little bit different than what you're accustomed to. So that's Module 6. Hopefully I'll have these up soon, and if you have any questions, just let me know.